Hi, this is my week 3 video. Been having a very busy week again. Started out last week with working with grief from kind of 2 different angles. I worked with one client that was younger, she's 23, and her mother passed away a couple of months ago, and now she is responsible for figuring out what she's going to do with her siblings and where they're going to live. And then on the same day, I also dealt with a client who had been married for 46 years and her husband passed away, and she's dealing with that grief. So last week was focused a lot more on the individuals. This week, my work has been focused more on program development. As I said in my first video, I am dual tracked, so I have to do a little bit of both. And so this week, I guess my discussion is going to be talking about funding issues and program development. So one of the programs that I am working on developing is called Stork Club. It's an incentive program for expecting mothers. Our goal is to increase our OB numbers at the clinic that I'm working at, but also encourage our pregnant population to go to all of their appointments and do them on in a timely manner. Don't be late on their glucose tests, and get the ultrasounds when they're told to get the ultrasounds. Also, we're wanting to take more of a holistic approach. So with this, they are encouraged to go to their appointments, but they also get support from me and case management from me. So that way I can address all of the other basic needs that they might have. Because our population at my clinic is a lot of low-income, socioeconomically challenged patients. So the goal is that they become part of the program. I can then just add another level of support with phone calls for expecting mothers who maybe choose adoption or abortion, getting them connected with support groups and resources for those choices, and just, offering them encouragement and support without judgment. Because I think a lot of mothers who choose adoption or abortion do deal with a lot of judgment. So it's not just for mothers who have made the decision to keep their baby. So for the program development for that, we have to figure out how we're going to pay for it. Because there are, costs involved with just brochures, forms, things like that they need. But then there's also the cost of the actual incentive. In this case, when they come to their appointments, they earn credit, and then they can take that credit and buy items out of our boutique that we have set up in our office. So our goal has been figuring out how we're going to pay for those items. Also getting literature, explaining to mothers what to expect when they're pregnant, and trying to keep some of those panicked emotions gone. When they have a different feeling, they can just go to their book that they got from our office, look it up, see if it's something that they need to be concerned with. So we're just figuring out funding for that. I was able to identify a grant that is offered by a local funding source. So today they made the decision that I would be applying for the grant. So I have never actually written a grant before. I did do a coursework on program development, so I know how to get it from the idea to the end goal, but we didn't really talk a lot about how to get the funding. We just talked about the different funding sources. So applying for a grant will be something new for me. And that we're on kind of a short timeline. We have to have the first part of the grant application done by June 11th. So, and there's a lot that goes with it. Thankfully, I have a really great support system. Our faculty physicians have all kind of taken little parts of the grant that they are interested in, and they're going to help me with that. The president of our entire agency, because it's a larger agency and then I'm interning at 2 smaller ones, but the president of the much larger agency has offered to get an accountant to help me. We are losing our accountant there at our agency, so he is willing to hire an accountant to help me to get the grant, because it could mean a lot in money, and it is a 3-year grant, so it is a really good funding source for us now until we can kind of figure out how to make the program continue to work. So one of the things that we have to do for this grant is figure out how we are going to evaluate our measures. And in order to do that, we of course have to identify our measures. I had suggested that we could count how many women are a part of it that are on Medicaid, because that will prove that they are lower income women, and we can show improvement or increase in our Medicaid numbers. I also said that maybe we could somehow evaluate fetal birth weights, so that way we can say, you know, the women that are involved in this program have the healthier birth weights than maybe the women that aren't involved. So my question is, what would be some outcome measures that you might think would be beneficial to evaluate for a program like this, where we are trying to do incentives for OB care and for women having healthy pregnancies?